In this segment of the content of my diaries, actually may present a conversation between my father was a Joe, na nwanne ya nwoke wu Open Felix. My parents she from Lagos, Loblo to the village in the year 1985, the month of April to be precise. So I've also made it clear that I took it as a point of responsibility to make sure that I return to the village. I frequent the village to be able to monitor and to see how my mom was faring and how my dad was managing to cope with the situation his wife was in. So I returned to the village to stay with them much often. So this was in the year 1985, December. I returned home to stay with them. So Orula one day, Ishi maybe more Banaba Aga. I met my dad and Nwanne Nwoko, Open Felix, in a conversation. It wasn't an intense conversation that warranted them being seated. They were just standing beside the window of my father's parlor. So Papa, I went closer to listen to what they were talking about. So the conversation was about my father's lamentation that Ezuga Hiyoshi from the window of his bedroom, that Ezugoshi, from him in the bedroom. Actually, the parlor window was burglary proof, but the window came on the bedroom papa and burglary proof. So my dad came to the conclusion that people jeshi from outside the neighborhood. But then you come to think about it. Onwonye jiga kamobi shina window no outside neighborhood inside my father's bedroom for the purpose of stealing. It was not true. If you also consider the situation that our mother was at that time, our mother was not going anywhere. She was permanently at home. So onwe bamanugeji ureji nibata inside my father's bedroom to come and steal. So him at this particular incident now to talk about it, it is going to form a kind of a blueprint when I'm talking about other things that is happening in Umuofakaja. That's number one. Because I will be touching this particular incident from time to time, trying to pick up facts to be able to buttress other things I want to talk about that is happening in Umuofakaja. But then it was an incident that introduced stealing, thieves inside my father's house. Because when they were coat or tie on inside, were millionaires, yet were stealing from my father. Onwonye she outside, inside the Sajo's bedroom. It was not possible. So, moi, ekegamiante na no to conversation it was very mutual. It was like brother to brother. And one thing this from that conversation that it was the last era of the trust between brothers. It was finished. Oguchala, Astafela, that page, Open Felix, it was like Sajo became lonely at the money as a brother. So during that conversation, Papa Mishi Naya needed a very small that I needed permission from Open Felix to be able to allow him to construct a fence to protect his windows. Open Felix Shia, one adding his supposed a fence wall separating them. But on ruler for his own security, that he should go ahead and do it. So Papa was trying to explain to Open Felix that Ayage Shida from the backyard, from that wall, at the end of it, would have made open front. Or should I give me na nga window ya kwana. Open Felix no so bad go on. So Papa, that was the conclusion. So the next thing now Papa maybe do one day bricklayers have a door block were tinye onye legwara anya ga-ahụ otu papa m ji mekwa that defense wall to cover only the section of his bedroom window, which is no longer visible from outside. The only one that will be visible is the parlor window, which is already protected with iron. So not long after this agreement was made and my dad has erected that defense wall, it was like Nwunye Open Felix Wanigo, na Pius was in disagreement with it. Because soon after that, ha ga mega hewo, ha chomiga makwa, ha bia wiga ushishiga heji urejiga makwa ha, almost to his spread the aqua sana mini aqua ha block or division from my father's parlor at the moment gile outside aqua asavo as a curtain that aqua ha dry here. So he choma isonko ha bia migoko agaji regishi onko so wania ha bia hitige very closer to the window in case ajo, to the point that I won't rock gonna hear better inside my father's parlor. All I had to him he with clochacha and don't do chi na whole window sajo. So this is systematically they have begun to show resentment to the agreement of Felix Simony with Sajo for him to freely take that place. Hatred began to show. So all him range like here to bring to be able to bring this page from the content of my diaries. It will help me to buttress or to show how much hatred was being channeled, was being positioned towards my father. Resentment from everywhere for no reason. So to call the matter short, Alodolam na 2015. Around that time, Papa Mjiba na request here for that window, for that space. And the space and work where from inside, you cannot even turn your shoulder. It was very small. It was a little 1 foot inside, but Gileanya from outside, they take about 2, it will look like 1.5 feet from outside. But from inside my father's side of it, it was almost like 1 foot. It was very narrow. It was nothing significant in size. It is something that can be ignored where there is a mutual agreement between brothers. So, but the contrary was the case. So, Mama Ikeja bia yapaki ya moto ya there. Before he wants to drive out, he's just arriving or use here as a permanent parking place, but all just like in if the car is being used, I don't idea for some time before Ananya for but they park the car there or that they use here as a parking place permanently. He used to go there as a permanent, as a parking place. I didn't see any problem. This is village. This is one family. This is one kindred. I didn't anticipate any problem from there. But so, like as I said, to cut the matter short, Aladolam in the year 2015, Suppius called me and officially demanded that Ayagola Mike to dismantle that fence. Okay, so for me, I didn't see any problem about it, and the reason why I'm talking about it now is not because I feel sad about it in any way. No, it's not a problem at all. It's not an issue. But there are 2 reasons to be able to highlight the cordial relationship between our fathers and compare it with what is happening today in Umuofakaja, how the love that unites the family has been eroded, has been destroyed completely. What is now available is people who lie and hatred and resentment and backbiters. Today, people who are working very hard to destroy the kindred. So that is why I'm bringing this content of my diary. This page from the content of my diary. And number 2 reason is to also to be able to highlight the fact that na still in Jipito ni mulo sajo. ndị kpọrọ tai gbaa coat gbaa perfume dara ọnụ na-aparade onwe ha as millionaires were systematically stealing from our father from inside, because the maggot that is eating the apple is in the apple. Onwe onye jiga kaobi jib from the window no outside without fear that somebody can be seeing him climb into my father's bedroom to go and steal. No, all from inside. So as time went on, and Mbapa Yasujiri Jigwamam that na Ayachoroka Mike remove that the fence, that he should dismantle that fence. Olea was already in progress. He could build his house without hindrances. I didn't see how that wall has become a problem. But actually, more than when my papa mji na akowa, he hamre ni aji work so Olea ndondo ebe front wall, because he didn't anticipate any problem, and there was no issue between him and his brother Felix. So that was the mentality at that time. So today, being as a person, I wouldn't agree the fact that na papa at least you give a gap of at least 1 meter or 1.5 meters, step back a little. So if there was anything needed to be done, it could have been for us to be able to shift our father's house a little bit back to give a little space for ventilation. But Otupayos Ojichuama, my dad, in the plan of his house, that now yes, that design and the positioning of his house was confrontational to my father's own, because his house is virtually seated on the shoulder of my father's house, which also is not a problem. I don't give a damn about that. But the only thing I want to pick up is some of these little issues surrounding or sentimental issues surrounding the discussion between my dad and his brother, because there is more to requesting for mutual agreement, and then in a humble way my dad present my dad just go ahead and snatch it and then you do it and at last. No, my dad will humbly beg and make sure that he gets the person's consent. My dad was never a thief. My dad was never a person that forcefully removed anybody's thing. So these are the points I want to amplify in this content of my diaries. So I thank you for listening.